famous Rashi in this week's Parsha. First Rashi, try to explain what it means. Rashi says, Vayechi Yaakov, Lama Parsha Zu Stuma. Why is this Parsha of Vayechi Stuma? It's closed. Shishakivich and Nifta Yaakov, since Yaakov died, Yaakov Vino, Nistamu Eineim V'Liber Shal Yisrael, the eyes and the hearts of Klal Yisrael became closed. Yitzaras HaShibud, Sheschidu L'Shabbat. That the Mitzrayim started being Meshabbat, making the and work hard. That started now when Yaakov came down to Mitzrayim. The Shibud started right away. Parshas Vayechi, when Yaakov came down to Mitzrayim, they started living in Mitzrayim. That's why it says, Nistamu Eineim, the eyes and the hearts of Klal Yisrael became closed. That's why it's a Parsha Stum. Now, I would like to speak about what does it mean? What's the meaning of those words that it's a Parsha Stum? What does it mean it's a Parsha Stum? We'll get to that soon. But this, should we add a table here?
First of all, we're talking about that the parshas are connected. Is that what you think?
Yeah.
That you don't see an opening. Because we tried to look for one this morning. Yesterday we couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it?
Simple meaning is it's a stuma where you can't...
Right, so the simple meaning of the words, Parshas of stuma means that usually between parshas there's a little opening in the Torah, separation.
Like a paragraph, next paragraph.
And there's a separation. You can find the place where the parsha starts. Parshas Vayechi, there's no separation. You finish Parshas Vayechi, and it goes straight into Parshas Vayechi. That's what the simple translation of Lama Parshas Zu Stuma means. But the question is, we have Parshas, Bereshis, Noach, Lech Lecha, Vayer, Chaisara, Vayigash, Vayechi. Who made these Parshas? Is it Lama Parshas Zu Stuma? Why is Parshas Vayechi closed? Who said Vayechi is a new Parsha? Who decided that Vayechi is a new Parsha? The Rashi could ask, Lama Parshas Zu Stuma. Why is this Parsha closed? Maybe Vayechi is not a new Parsha. Maybe the new Parsha a bit earlier. Who decided that Parshas Vayechi is a new Parsha? So now I have a question, why is Parshas Vayechi closed? So I want to go into this. What does it mean, a Parsha? And more than that, what does it mean, Stuma Psucha? So let's start with A. Let's say, the question doesn't mean why is Parshas Vayechi, the beginning of Parshas Vayechi closed. A lot of people have learned Rashi. The Rashi means that in the Torah we have Peis and Samach. You go in the Chumash, you find a lot of times a Pei, and you find a Samach. What does Pei and Samach mean? Pei means Psucha, and Samach means Stuma. That's what it stands for. The Peis and the Samach in the Chumash. So what does that mean? There's a big machlokes in the Shainim. We have Parshas in the Torah. Forget about Bereshis Noach. Parshas in the Torah mean the beginning of an Inyan and the end of an Inyan. A Pei and a Samach. That's called a Parsha in the Torah. Vayechi could have 20 Parshas in the middle. Maybe Parsha could have lots of Parshas in the middle, lots of hefsek in the middle between Parshas. But it depends how you write in the Torah. Something called a Parsha Psucha and a Parsha Stuma. When we start a new Parsha in the Torah, not Parshas Bereshis Noach Lech Lecha, Parsha meaning a new Inyan in the Torah, there's two ways of doing it. There's a machlokes in the Shana what it means. There's a Psucha way of doing it, and there's a Stuma way of doing it. The Psucha way of doing it, like most Shana means, you have to leave in between one Parsha and the next Parsha room for 3 letters. A Psucha means 9 letters. A Psucha, from the end of one Parsha to the starting of the next Parsha, you have to leave room for 9 letters. And a stuma, a parsha that's a parsha stuma,
like a blank space
of 9 letters, and a stuma, when you have a samach in our chumashim, that samach means it's a parsha stuma. All you have to leave is 3 letters in between one parsha to the next.
So the pei is 9 and the samach is 3.
So the pei is 9 spaces and the samach is 3 spaces. That's what most of Shainim hold. Let's see how we do it today. And then there's another big question of when you have the main shittus of Shainim is when it says pei, it's not a space of 9, a space of 3. You can't start it on that line. You finish the parsha on one line. A parsha psucha means that you can't start on that line. You have to start the next parsha on the next line. It's open at the end of the line, meaning psucha is open at the end of the line. Now what oh yeah, so we'll get to what we do today. That's what I say what the machlokes Shainim are, and then we'll see what we do today. How to be able to all the shittas. So psucha la Shainim means you finish the parsha, don't start the next parsha on the same line. Start on the next line. A stuma means you're allowed to start the parsha on the same line. Leave it open a little bit, leave it a little space, start on the same line. That's into the stuma and the psucha. The question is, when a psucha ends at the end of a line, so what do you do? What do you do then? It ends at the end of a line, so then you go ahead and you have to skip a line and leave one line blank, a whole line blank, and start the next line. Yeah. So see what we do today. That's the big machlokes in the Rishonim. A stuma, even though it ends at the end of a line, a lot of Rishonim hold you don't have to skip a line. Start the next line and then go into the next line. So don't start in the beginning of the line. Leave a few ices break. Let's say there's one ice. There's enough room for one ice at the end of the line. So leave one ice at the end of the line, two more at the beginning of the next line, and start into the next line. But a psucha always starts in the beginning of a line. A psucha always starts in the beginning of a line. So to begin to all the shittas, what we do today is a parsha stuma. We leave 9 letters in between a stuma, because a lot of Rishonim hold the only difference between a stuma and a psucha is if you last start at the beginning of the line or not. If you last start in the middle of the line or not, but you still have to have 9 space between the two parshas. So therefore, what we do is we make sure. If you're writing a Sefer Torah, you're not keeping cheshbon, so you may end up, a parsha stuma may end up towards the end of the line, then you're stuck. I have enough room for one ice, so I can start the next line, I'll start the next line. Therefore, what we do is we make sure that the stumas, parsha has samach at the end. We leave 9, but you make sure you have room to start it on the same line. And the psucha will always start on the next line, always make sure you leave over at least 9 letters, so you can start on the next line right away, not to skip a line. So that's the way we do it today.
So when they write the Sefer Torah, they plan ahead to make it
right. So the way it goes today, I mean, it happens to be even a newer thing. The way they did was psucha and stumas for years already. They would make sure a stuma would plan ahead. A stuma would have enough room to start on the same line, and a psucha doesn't. Psucha, you leave it empty, and the rest of the line is empty, it's on the next line. But you always make sure you don't leave more than 9 letters there, so you shouldn't have the suffix of skipping a line. You should have a suffix of skipping a line. So that was always.
the letters sometimes?
The letters, yeah. So that is what they're doing for years already, yeah.
So every sefer is identical. It's not dependent on the calligraphy of the sefer.
That's what I'm saying now. So till recently, not every sefer was identical. Till recently, you could have from 50 years ago, you have plenty of sperm that are not identical. But they always made sure they planned ahead that the samachs and the pays, the parsha stuma, should have 9 letters and be able to start on the same line, and a psucha would start on the next line.
But other ones might end differently in different territories?
Yeah. Of 50 years ago. Lately, it became makubal for all seferim all over the world had the same pattern. They found that the easiest way to write, every single Amma today basically is the same. So you find a lot about the Kriya will only learn from new Sefer Torahs, because the old ones you practice on one thing and you remember a certain picture by heart, and you come to Sefer Torah, it's a whole different thing. So if it's an old Sefer Torah, you can have it very often, very, very often. You know about
No, but 25 years ago I did do a little bit of laning.
There's different Sefer Torahs.
Well, when you learn it from the tikkun,
right,
in your mind you're expecting it to be in a certain way.
And open the Sefer Torah and it's different. That was 25 years ago. Today, if you find an old Sefer Torah, you'll find that also. But now, anybody who's writing a Sefer Torah today, basically everybody has.
Is not the same as
So there's a standard for every line.
Right. Today, everyone's will cobble the same thing. Today, open up a tikkun and you go for the tikkun. If you can take an old tikkun, it may not be the same way. You have to have a new tikkun and a new Sefer Torah. Then you're okay. Because all tikkun today, all Sefer Torahs that are written today, are written the same standard. Everybody does the same, and it's much easier that way. Because Sefer is writing doesn't have the cheshbon to leave over knob. Then to fix it afterwards. If you take the standard, then you know you're okay. So that is psuchas and stumas, a pei and a samach. Now, end of a parsha doesn't always mean it's a parsha psucha. You have a lot of parshas that don't start at the beginning of a line.
By the way, is this true in the different communities, say the Sephardi community versus the...
So I'm pretty sure that everybody has the same standard today. I can't say 100% sure. I've seen Svardi Sefer Torahs that also have basically the same layout. I don't think there should be a difference. I think today everyone has the same layout. It's much easier for everybody. Why not? It used to be that people
It's also easier for the software to check their notes.
Yeah. It's easier to say. It's much easier for everybody. There's no reason why not. Why not to do it? So, huh? No, but there's no Kabbalah, a certain way of doing it. So that's a Pasha Psuch and a Pasha Stuma. But now Rashi says over here, that us, love Pasha Stuma, Rashi doesn't mean that's a Pasha Stuma, a Samach. Because even a Samach has a certain amount of letters from one Pasha to the next. This Stuma means it's totally closed up. Vayechi to Vayechi, Vayigash to Vayechi, I mean, it's totally closed up. There's no space at all. So this Stuma means not the Pasha Stuma that we have. It means a real Stuma totally closed off. So,
how often does this occur in
the what?
Like a complete Stuma?
It never occurs. Only here.
Only here. It's the only.
Only here. And the question is, what does it mean? Who says it's a new Pasha? Who decided that Vayechi is a new Pasha? Rashi has a question. What Pasha is a Stuma? You're not going to ask that question when you have a pasuk Vayidaber Elav. It's called the Yosef. Why is it Stuma? Because it's not a new Pasha.
Right.
Who said Vayechi is a new Pasha? Maybe Vayechi is it's a continuation of the past Pasha, and we happen to start learning Vayechi from this pasuk, and it's not a pay, it's not a samach.
When were they all set up? Like,
the pays and the samach?
No, the
so we'll get to that. So we'll get to say the Pashas.
They were set up to correspond with the way we.
So that's what we're speaking of. One with who set them up, and how were they set up? But the fact that Vayechi doesn't have a space in the middle doesn't mean who says that Vayechi was a new. Forget about a sedra. We'll call it sedras and Pashas. Well, the fire that way. A sedra and a Pasha. A sedra is Breishis Nech Lech Lecha, and a Pasha is Samach and Peis. That's called that way. Just to be clear. So let's say Vayechi is a new sedra, right? It's a new sedra. Who says it's a new Pasha? Maybe Vayechi is not a new Pasha. It's the middle of a Pasha. They saw the sedra, later the sedra, in the middle of a Pasha. Who said that Vayechi was a new sedra? A new Pasha. So a lot of the Mefarshim actually say it was Kabbalah that Vayechi was a new Pasha. It was a Kabbalah. That was a new Pasha. If you look in the Rambam goes through all Psuchas and Stumas the Chol Terekulim. It says, it goes through the whole thing. It says, this is the Kabbalah we have. Psuchas and Stumas that we have today is only after Kabbalah. There's no way we could know what's a real Psucha, what's a Stuma, where Pasha starts, and what's a Pasha Psucha, what's Pasha Stuma. It's only what's handed down from generations. And Baruch Hashem, where everyone has the same Kabbalah in this, and there's no arguments. The Rambam goes through the whole thing. Exactly, what's a Psucha, what's a Stuma.
The Sedra could start in the middle.
Oh, that's what we're asking now. We're saying a Sedra, Rashi says, Lama Pasha is a Stuma. That's Rashi's question. I'm trying to understand, what does it mean? Who says it's a new Parsha? So we're assuming since it's a new Sedra, it must be a new Parsha. Right. Who says? Maybe a new Parsha could start, and who says a new Sedra could start in the middle of a Parsha? And who made up the Sedras?
But don't Sedras have their own themes by definition?
Let's say they do. Let's say who said a theme can't start in the middle of a Parsha?
Because Parshas have their own themes.
Oh, okay. But every Parsha has its own theme. Every
Parsha would not have two themes within one Parsha. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right. If you're dividing the Parsha,
there's lots of things I think like
Parshas
stuff, and it's all the same theme, but it's divided into many different Parshas.
Right. You have different Parshas.
No, I wasn't saying that. What I'm saying is within one Parsha you don't have two themes. Not that you don't have multiple themes. Okay. And within a Sedra even you could, but within a Parsha, so you have a theme, right? So if you're dividing the Parsha
according to the theme,
according to the Sedra, right? You're saying that there must be two themes in the Parsha.
Yes, that's what I want to get to it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, that's what I want to get to. So a lot of the Chachamim learned that there was a Kabbalah that from the end of Vayigash, the beginning of Vayechi, there's a Kabbalah that it was a new Parsha, not a new Sedra. So Kabbalah was a new Parsha, so you have to at least a couple of Isis in between, and we don't do that. And us it's Sasso. So Lama Pasha Zustum. That's what I want to learn, Pshat and Rashi. But, let's go to the Sedras. is a Sedra, where does it come from that there are Parshas Bereshis, Noach, Lech Lecha, Vayera? Where does that come from? If we're going to say that Sedras have a makar to them, so then you have a good question. If the Sedra has a makar from previous times, so then it should start a new parsha. Every Sedra starts a new parsha. Where did the Sedras come from? When did it start? So there is a Gemara that says in Megillah, we finish the Torah once a year. Every year, we make a siyum, we split up the Sedras, and we finish the whole Torah once a year. Simchas Torah. 2 times, they finished it once every 3 years. 2 times, and the more brings down. They obviously had different Sedras than we have.
The division was different.
The division was different. They're different Sedras than we have. They finished once every 3 years.
Couldn't they spend 3 weeks on preparation?
Right. So, very good. Maybe they had the same Sedras, but they did Bereshis for 3 weeks, and Leach for 3 weeks. Now you find in the Gemara that the Gemara says the Sedras, there's certain Sedras that we learn at certain times. For example, you always learn Parshas Nitzavim before Rosh Hashanah. You always learn Parshas Bamidbar. Sorry, what the? That's right. You always learn Bamidbar before Shavuos.
Because of Tocha, right?
Yeah. You have to have a break. You have to have a break from Teichacha a week before Shavuos, a break of Teichacha, and before Shana also a week between the Teichacha and Rosh Hashanah. So in the case it's always Hanukkah. It's not true. The case is not always Hanukkah. There's a few times that the case does not come out of Shabbos Hanukkah. Someone gave me a calendar. Exactly 10% it comes out. Yeah, I was surprised also to hear it so much. So there are certain Sedras that come at certain times of the year. Those Gemaras, I see the times of the Gemaras already, the Sedras are set up a certain way. And obviously, right, at times of the Tanom and Amiroim already, that they had the Sedra set up a certain way. So let's say someone today wants to go ahead.
I thought it was Ezra himself who set it up, that these two Tochas had to come and
okay, so that's the question.
Determined everything.
The question is, was it Ezra?
Do that then. There was a 3-year thing.
Right, so it was a 3-year thing, it didn't work that way.
Oh, okay.
So those Gemaras are not like the ones who hold as a 3-year thing. The Rambam says in Hilchos Tefillah, Haminig HaPoshut B'chol Yisrael, Shemashlim HaTorah B'shana Achas. We finished the whole Torah in 1 year, we finished the whole Torah. Maschilim B'Shabbat Achar Chag HaSukkos, B'koyrim B'Seder Bereshis, B'Shni Elotai L'Snoyach, B'Shni Tzedem Hashem El Avram, B'koyrim B'holchen Al HaSeder, Acher Goyrim HaTorah B'Chag HaSukkos. So we finished the whole Torah B'Chag HaSukkos. V'yesh mi shemashlam HaTorah B'Shalosh Shonim, V'ein Lei Minig. Ein Lei Minig Pashut. It's not Pashut Minig. It shouldn't be done. The way it should be done is once a year. Now where does this come from once a year? Where does it come from once a year you finish the Torah and the Pasha split up Bereshis Noach Lech Lecha? If someone said, listen, I'll finish the Torah in a year, but I'm going to lay Bereshis Noach the first week, and the next week I split up Lech Lecha in 2. Could he do that? Could a person do that? Well,
Seems not.
Why not? Where does the Pashas come from? Where do the Pashas come from? So it's a very interesting halacha. Halacha says, let's say there was a kehila, small kehila, to have a bakayra, and the bakayra didn't get paid, let's say, but we got into a fight with some of the people in the kehila. He says, you know what? I'm not leaving this week. I'm not leaving. Or someone owned the Sefer Torah, and he gets into a fight and says, you know what? You're not going to treat me the way I want to be treated. I'm taking my Sefer Torah and no one's allowed to use it. They got into a fight. And that Shabbos, there was no Kriyat Torah. There was a fight. Over the week, they made peace, they made shalom, and then the next week, they come, they missed last the Parshas Lech Lecha, so it comes to Parshas Vayera. Now, they missed Parshas Lech Lecha, what do? The halacha is, you can make up, when it comes time to Parshas Vayera, you make up Parshas Lech Lecha, and you learn 2 Parshas, Lech Lecha and Vayera, 2 Parshas together.
Is that the max you can make up?
So the question is, how about?
I have another shayla, very similar idea in the Sefer Beharavna. I can't remember who it was, but he said that the Rabbi of the shul was they were in the middle of Kriyas Torah and everybody was talking in shul. And he got so mad and so disgusted. He got up, he stopped Kriyas Torah, told them to put away the Torah, and that was it for Kriyas Torah that week. And then afterwards he felt so bad. He wasn't sure if he was right. And he asked the shayla if the next week they should lane twice to make up what they looked like. Same idea.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Same idea. They stop in the middle.
And you told yes?
I think so.
They stop in the middle. Yeah, they stop in the middle, and then you finish up the next week or not. Yeah. So the question is, how about if they were in a fight for 2 weeks in a row? They went in 2 weeks in a row. They couldn't come to terms for 2 weeks. The third week, what do you do? You like 3 parshas? What do you do? So the Magen Avraham says in Hilchos Kriyas Torah. So the Magen Avraham has a little different challenge. Magen Avraham said, how about the fight? The week that they were in a fight was 2 parshas. Let's say. So next week they have to lay 3 parshas. What happens then? Says the Magen Avraham. So first it says your question. They missed the whole Shabbos. So who did? In Meschilu, they started laning. For Loi Saimu, but didn't finish laning. Machmas Ktat. They had a fight. Everyone got angry. If you have 2 parshas together that Shabbos, let's say together that Shabbos, Shabbatlu, Ein Koyre Mishabbos Abagim. The next Shabbos you won't have 3 parshas. That you can't do. You never find that you laid 3 parshas. That's what the Magen Avraham says.
I mean, the fact that we sometimes do read 2 parshas, use that as the...
So if you read the Magen Avraham is mashma, that the reason why, if let's say 2 parshas that week, why you can't make up the 3rd week, the next week, all 3 is because the max we find in parshas is 2 parshas laying together. We don't find any week like 3 parshas, therefore you're not allowed to lay 3 parshas together.
So you would do Kedoshim and everyone maybe?
Oh, so then he says, so you do maybe part of it, right? At least make one of the parshas. They ain't the kind of chatzon. Finished. You blew it.
Yeah, the Sefer Torah doesn't count. Without 3 Sefer Torahs, like Parsha Chodesh, you have Parsha...
Well, that's fine. That's different Kriyas.
Yeah.
That's what Magen Avraham says.
Why couldn't you just do the 2 from the previous week, and then the 3rd one that you're supposed to be spill over to the next week?
So the problem with that is because they have a chiv kriya that week of Emor. That's a chiv passion. So what I want to bring out from this Magen Avraham, and we'll see it's very negeya, is that the parshas that are in the Torah, Bereshis, Nerech, Lech Lecha, everything has a makar to it, and not just doesn't have a makar to it. It's if you miss 1 parsha, you can't just lane 2 parshas the next. You can't do whatever you want. I was once in the shul. The laning parsha is Baruch. And the end of the parsha is Baruch. It ends off. He amazed by my geifo. Are born for SML. That's where parsha Baruch ends up after my geifo. Then it's Parshat Pinchas. So the Balchai was laning. He's like, here, Mason, but I gave her a bomb, but oh, but that was so much love. Pinchas, those behind the coin. Like, please go into the next Parshat. I'm sad at what's going on over here. Going to the next Parshat. And he goes a few seconds to the next Parshat and he stops. So I thought maybe it was a mistake.
Didn't want to end with my geifo.
So I go to the Balchai and I said to him, excuse me, what happened? The Parsha ends. He says, no, I have a Kabbalah, we don't end a Parsha with something that's not good, not nice. And Balak ends with the Magefa, I don't end with the Magefa, I go into Parsha Pinchas. So I said to him, very nice, but the Parshas were made up by Chazal. I said, I don't think you're smarter than Chazal. Chazal know where they made the Suma Parshas. He said, no, the Parshas don't mean anything. That's what he tells me. You can do whatever you want. So I said, so you can lane 1 week Pinchas and Balak Pinchas 3 parshas together. Yeah, as long as they finish it within 1 year, you're okay. That's what this person tells me. So I asked him, I said, please tell me, where do you get him? Who's your Rabbi? So he told me his name. I have no idea who it was. So I said, do me a favor. Go to a certain neighborhood, go to the Rav neighborhood and ask him if you could do this. go ahead and continue to the parsha. We don't make up new parshas. He went to the Rabbi of the community. Says, of course not. You can't do that. We're going to stop. The Chazal say to stop. To continue to the next parsha. We cannot do. The
no one stopped them? Killed them?
No one stopped that. I was shocked. I was shocked.
People were
maybe that's their custom.
No, maybe they knew no one was
so
listening.
So he said that's his custom.
Yeah,
I said, but the custom
is not a reason for everything.
Yeah, that's what people didn't stop.
People might have a custom
No,
to
people
you.
wouldn't stop them.
So I said to him, the custom can't be connected to Allah.
There's got to be a Rav in the shul.
It can't be connected to Allah.
It's fine. You're right. It's fine. You don't have to.
There's no Rav in the shul.
No, that's it. It's fine. Sure.
So then
Everybody's a Rav.
So if it's connected to Allah, you can't just have a minute connected to Allah. So, no, I was happy to hear that. You know, it was something you have such a story, you check into it. So I started checking into where does the Makayos of the Parshas come from. And most of the Achayim learn it's from Tekanos Ezra. Already, Ezra set up the Parshas exactly which Parshas to learn. And if that's the case, every Parsha is its Parsha. You can't go ahead and mix the Parshas, you can't write two Parshas. And this question comes up a lot. The fighting doesn't happen that often, we hope. The people together to fight. But the question comes up a lot of times when you have, especially Yeshiva Bachurim, come for Pesach. And for the last day of Pesach and Shabbos, and for us Chutzlars, and at Yisrael, it's already a regular Kriya. Or Sukkot you have it. So it happens when you go to Yisrael, they learn two Parshas. That's fine to learn two Parshas. But sometimes you have that the last day Pesach is Achrei Mois Kedoshim in Eretz Yisrael. And for Chutz La'aretz, it's not a Parsha. So you come to Yisrael the next week, you have to make up Achrei Mois Kedoshim, you have to learn Emor.
Three.
So some people go ahead and make a Chutz La'aretz minyan for that Shabbos, and they learn Achrei Mois Kedoshim Emor, three Parshas together.
You just said you can't do three, you can only do two.
So according to Small of you can't do that. You cannot do that. You have to find different aids to what to do. Some people learn the mincha beforehand. You have to find a different aids to what to do. Go ahead and learn Achrei Mois Kedoshim Emor, you can't do.
Could you learn it during the week?
No. You can't learn during the week. During the week, you can't learn more than the Tosheni.
Mincha and Shabbos.
So Mincha Shabbos is a question. Mincha Shabbos, you probably could make up a Mincha Shabbos, the Shabbos beforehand, and learn the whole thing.
You couldn't learn it with a bracha, just take out the second Torah.
Yeah, but they're not yet to the Chiyuv.
You wouldn't be able to.
No, not yet to the Chiyuv.
But in that situation, Mincha Shabbos.
Oh, so yes to that. Huh?
In that situation, Mincha Shabbos, you would be learning going forward as well.
Right.
So you're learning two in a little bit,
Right.
one in a little bit.
Right. So the question is, this is a different question. Is the chiv kriya on the person? Is it on the tibur? Famine is chutzlaret. When I go to Eretz Yisrael, it's a different parsha. Who said I have to worry about what's happening in chutzlaret? I go 1 week to Eretz Yisrael in between Pesach and Sukkot, let's say, and they haven't caught up yet to Pesach and Shavuos. A lot of times it happens. They didn't catch up yet. So in chutzlaret it's one parsha, and Yisrael is another parsha. So do I have to have a separate minyan for the chutzlaret or no? It's a chiv, a kriya on the tzibur. On the tzibur is like this parsha. I'm together with the tzibur. I missed the parsha. Okay, so you make up Shai Mikveh Chatagim yourself. So that's a big question. Whether you have to make it up a chlal or not, or maybe just ignore it. So that's a different chapter for a different time maybe. But you see,
What would making it up being Yachid?
I mean, you have to finish Shai Mikveh Chatagim throughout the year.
So you're just learning.
Yeah.
No Sefer Torah involved.
Right, no Sefer Torah involved, no. So you see from here that from this Magen Avraham, from this halacha, even those who argue in the Magen Avraham, they hold they could make up three parshas. Right? So you're allowed to make up three parshas, but you see the parshas are a thing in itself. Every parsha has a makar to it, and we can't go in and make up whatever you want, do any parsha you want. So when Rashi says, Lama parsha is stuma. Why is this parsha stuma? So according to it, it's very clear. This Sedra is a stuma. We never find a Sedra that starts in the middle of a parsha. So Sedra is the Vayechi, and the parsha is Pei Samach. We never find a Sedra starting in the middle of a parsha. So Rashi asks, Lama parsha stuma. If they started the Sedra from Vayechi, it must be that it's a new parsha. And if it's a new parsha, why is it stuma? That's what Rashi means to ask. But this, I just told you a lot of Achayim, from a lot of Rishonim we see it. There's the Rashbam in this week's parsha. It's interesting, he puts it in over here. And the Rashbam is mashma that all the sedras that we have are not api Ezra. They're not. The Rashbam says I'll tell to you. Ve'ikras Chalos Parsha Zu min Vayechi Yisrael be'Eretz Mitzrayim, which is the end of Parsha Vayigash. Vayechi Yisrael be'Eretz Mitzrayim. The Rabbi is masking to some type of Parsha Stum over here. So it says the Ikar this Parsha was on Vayechi Yisrael, but it was the Rotzuach Hilas L'Sayim Parsha Vayigash Vatihi Aretz L'Paroi. The Kehillas didn't want to finish the Parsha of Vayigash that the land belonged to Parai, so they added another pasuk of Vayechi Yisrael Eretz Mitzrayim, and then they started Vayechi. When the Rabbi is mashma that the Sedris was telling all the Kehillas. Mashma the Rabbi
that they were doing what the guy was doing in Eretz Israel.
Right.
And then we don't want to end with something depressing about Parai.
Correct. So the Rabbi says
so it doesn't mean anything. We'll do this.
Right.
And then
there is a Kabbalah against what the guy says, except it doesn't.
Yeah, but in Allah we see it's not that way. We see that the parashas are a kehillah can't come and decide which parashas how to make the parashas. The parashas set up Pemei Ezra, and that's what we have the Sovim before Rosh Hashanah, or Midbar before Shavuos. There are certain parashas that have to happen that way, and we can't go ahead and play around with the sedras.
So it means because of an individual kehillah making a decision and it becoming popular, it's a corrupted system that we have now?
No. According to the Rashbam. The Rashbam is for Rashbam.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm showing this to you. See the Rashbam may have a different halach over here. But if you look at the Chaim, all mashma that all the sedras that we have today are mitachonis Ezra and set aside then. Those who finished it within 3 years, it must be they kept the sedra for 3 weeks. And like Manny was saying, Bereshis for 3 weeks, Noah for 3 weeks. Not they had a whole different list of sedras.
Right.
All the same type of sedras.
They didn't have 150 sedras.
Right, they had the same amount of sedras, but they split up the sedras, each sedra for 3 weeks. And these pays and samachs that we have, is important to when you look through the Chumash, and you see a pay and samach, but someone's mama says the law is you're not supposed to stop in the middle. By pays and samachs, you stop. You could stop. You learn the Chumash, you can stop pays and samachs. You have to stop wherever you want. So if someone's being mama says Vayigash, right? And it comes to the end of Vayigash, there's no pay, no samach. What does he do? He's allowed to stop. Because we know that's the end of a parsha. Even though there's no pay in samach, we know it's a new parsha and you're allowed to stop. Let us just explain what Rashi means by 11 parshas of Stum. Now, I want to go into one more thing. You have a few minutes?
Yes, 7 minutes.
Rashi says, 11 parshas of Stum, the feature Kivich Nifta Yaakov Vino Nistamo in name of Libin Yisrael. What happened? From the Shibud, it was Nistamoy Nehem Velibam Shaisa. What does it mean Nistamoy Nehem Velibam Shaisa? What does it mean? The hearts got stuffed and the eyes got stuffed. What does it mean they got stuffed? From the Shibud of Mitzrayim. I think Rashi is teaching us a very important lesson, and I think it's good, appropriate for this time of recent things that happened. I'm just telling us what was the problem of Mitzrayim? They did with Mitzrayim, and Nistamoy Nehem Velibam. The problem was when they made them work so hard. Pari tried to accomplish one thing with Chai, so I made them work so hard. I'm not giving you time to think. Work, and don't think. I'm not giving you time to stop and think. That's the biggest sorrow for Chai. But people don't stop and think. Pari made them work.
That's why he added work.
That's why he added work at the end.
Moshe told them you should be thinking.
And he added work. You see that Pari had a plan. Had a very good plan. Just work and don't think. If a person doesn't think, then that's where you go wrong. When a person stops and thinks what happened, what went wrong, then you end up going in the right track. If you don't stop and think, that's where things go wrong. You know, there's a recent story that happened in Newton over there with the shooting, that they killed 20 innocent children. And I was looking at the news, I listened to the news. It's Nistamoy Neyem shall Klal Yisrael also, unfortunately. What's happening? Everyone says, oh, terrible thing, we have to have gun control and this and that. The main thing is being missed. What's the main issue? What happened over here? The person of Meshuggah went ahead and killed 26 people for no reason. So what's the problem? Okay, take away the gun from him. Make sure he doesn't have a gun. That's not the problem. The problem is, where's he coming from? We're in a world today that we let kids, with the video games or with the TV shows, with the violence, right? Anybody seichel understands right away. Where does it come from? If we show violence, and violence is in our blood, okay, so you have one Meshuggah, he lets it out through violence. Not the problem is not that he had the gun in his hand, the problem is where he was coming from. This is the way neighbors all this class, so we listen to the news and everything. We have more gun control. 1 second. Let's stop a second and think. What's the shayrish over here? The shayrish over here is not guns. That's not the shayrish. The shayrish is, and the shayrish is not the Meshuggah.
How did you come to
the shayrish is because we're stuffing people's brains with all these Meshugasim. But of course, if you have it in your mind, then you go ahead and you do it. That's the shayrish. And
the NRA would love to have you as a spokesman.
I don't think that one is exclusive of the other.
It's not exclusive, but the answer is not that take away the gun. Of course, if you try to keep away the guns, it may help the Meshuggah of doing it, but the shayrish of such issues come from is what the society is putting in people's brains, in people's heads.
Between the games and
if you think about it, an average kid today, the amount of violence that he sees, what do you expect? It's used to it. It becomes part of it. Used to when you heard something about a person got killed, or you saw another person was killed, right? You see blood on the ground, the person will get shaken up. Today, they see it so much on TVs and on video games that okay, it's normal. It's a nice thing. Look at it.
It's a game.
It's a game. It's not a game, it's a serious thing. This name Sheklai Yisrael means that when things happen and we listen to the whole the news in the world and we go with them to explain to us what happened. We don't stop and think a second. Let's stop and think a second. What happened? What's the real underlying problem? That is Sarah's goals. We should all take the right messages from things that happen, not go with the Goyish Welt, how they explain the current events.